So what is contempt of court and how is it going to affect you? My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Worth Law Office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been practicing law for about 7 years, mainly doing family and criminal law. I want to take a little bit of time to help you just make law easy and explain contempt of court and kind of how that process looks. So there's two different kinds of contempt. There is direct contempt and indirect contempt. Direct contempt, just really quickly, is if you're in the courtroom in front of the judge and you're directly showing contempt for the court. Uh, Disrespecting the judge, disrespecting the court staff, being on your phone a bunch, wearing profane material, standing up and cussing people out. Direct contempt of court, you're going to go to jail for that. Indirect contempt of court is a little bit different, and I see it a lot of times in my family cases, where indirect contempt of court is basically if there's a court order, like say there's a court order for child support. That's one that happens a lot, so we'll use that as our example. So there's a court order for child support. You're ordered to pay child support and you don't pay it, or the other side's ordered to and they don't pay it. What happens is we can file an application for a contempt citation, basically saying, hey, court, you issued this order. They're not following this order. They're showing contempt for you, contempt for this court indirectly by refusing to follow the orders that this court issued. They're not directly giving the finger to the judge, but indirectly they are being disrespectful by refusing to abide by the court's rulings. So typically what will happen is you'll file your application for contempt. You'll get it set for an arraignment because it's a quasi-criminal thing, so you do have to be arraigned on it, and there is a bond that is issued for you. And then it kind of proceeds like any other case or charge. Usually in a family setting, if someone's filed contempt, it'll just run concurrently with the case. So let's say you're in a divorce, and during the course of the divorce, you filed a contempt application or the other side filed a contempt application. What'll happen is whenever that divorce goes to trial, you will also be on trial for contempt. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes people will decide, especially like, again, in the child support setting here in Tulsa, plenty of times people will elect to have a jury trial and actually have 6 jurors come in and have the contempt charged or tried in front of them. Contempt does carry jail time. I believe that it carries either a $500 fine and or 6 months in jail. So yeah, you absolutely can have that tried in front of a jury if you want to do it that way. And it gets kind of weird because sometimes you can be jailed for 6 months. Sometimes you can just kind of be, I've seen people be placed in custody with a purge amount for, like, let's say you owe $10,000 in back child support. If you can somehow pay $2,500 of that, you can be released to go back out on it. It's kind of interesting to see how contempt plays in these different type of cases because really, truly, it is its own separate thing, but it's never filed really on its own. It's always in conjunction with something else, at least in my experience. If you're in a situation where you're facing contempt charges, or maybe you feel like the other person in your court case is not abiding by the court's order and you want to file contempt on them, absolutely give us a call. My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm with Worth Law Office, and I want to help you make law easy because you're worth it.